Hello. How do you organise and try to remember all the new words you learn? Many learners write long lists of words they learn day by day. Other students organise into alphabetical order, like a dictionary. Others might use post-its, a bit like in the picture here. But what are the most effective ways? What ways will really help us to learn and remember new vocabulary? This is what we're going to be looking at in this video. Whatever system you use, the most important thing is to organise vocabulary into groups or word sets that will help you to remember more easily. Obvious groups would be days of the week, months of the year, numbers, colours, and so on. And it makes sense. Why would you learn just one day of the week when you need to know all 7 days? Larger groups of words need to be broken down into subsets. For example, phrasal verbs. There are hundreds of phrasal verbs. So we need to break this large group of phrasal verbs down into subsets. And I've done this by topic. For example, phrasal verbs used in flying. For example, check in, take off, touch down, etc. Another subset might be phrasal verbs used in business. For example, to take on or lay off staff, etc. Now, let's look at how we do this in practice. Phrasal verbs used in business. You can do this on paper or electronically. One advantage of recording new vocabulary on a computer or mobile device is that you can add pictures or photos to help you remember more easily. Either way, you need to start building files of word sets, which you will be continually adding to and building up. So, how would you record a new phrasal verb? Firstly, you need to know the meaning, and you would normally give a synonym or similar word, and perhaps a translation from your own language. Then check the pronunciation in a dictionary and note any word stress. I've underlined the stressed syllable here. And then, most importantly, write down an example sentence to show how to use the word and repeat the sentence several times until you remember. So, we have our first phrasal verb of the set. To go under is to go bankrupt. The company lost so much money that it went under. Another one. To take on staff. To take on means to recruit. For example, the company expanded and took on extra staff. And we can also add the opposite phrasal verb. The opposite of to take on is to lay off staff. In other words, to make staff redundant. So, for example, the company went under and laid off the entire staff. So, this is the way to do it. This is the most effective way to develop and remember new vocabulary. We can remember some groups of words more easily by using spider diagrams. Look at this example of transport. As you can see, spider diagrams are great for developing large groups of words that come under one collective heading. Here we've used transport. Other vocabulary groups might be food, say, or animals. and you can keep adding to the spiders as you learn more and more new words. Another effective way to learn and remember new vocabulary is by labelling pictures. Calendars are ideal for this as they have large pictures with plenty of room for labelling. And you can have several calendars around the house so you can learn more words of different topics. I would start off by labelling the easiest things first in a picture. So here we have a river, or maybe it's a stream slightly smaller. There's a bridge, and under the bridge there are two arches. There's a street going up through the village, and all the houses in the village seem to be made of stone. Over on the right there is a large house, and starting at the top there is a chimney on the house, and the chimney comes out of the roof, and there are two funny looking windows there coming out of the roof. They are called dormer windows. And in the front of the house, around the front door, there is something called a porch. And growing up over the house, around up the wall, there is a plant which looks very much like ivy. Ivy is a very common plant which grows on houses in England. And so we can continue getting more and more detailed until we can actually describe everything in the picture. And we can also add in the phrases or structures used to talk about the pictures. So we can say there is a street, there is a bridge, there are two arches under the bridge, etc. We can also say the houses are made of stone, and one house is covered in ivy, and so we can continue. This is also good practice for the speaking test of several English exams, where you are actually asked to describe a picture. Well done if you've got this far. Hopefully you now feel more confident about organising the new words you learn. If you start to use these methods and learn words in groups, you should find it much easier to remember and build up your vocabulary. Keep working on your English, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye for now.